So, what if you could build a system for social mobility that actually funds itself? I'm not talking about donations, not about charity, but about recycling value that was just left behind. Today, we're going to dig into this really fascinating concept called the 4G3W social elevator. It's a totally unconventional model, and it's designed to turn digital abandonment into a real world launchpad. All right, let's get into it. Okay, first things first, we have to get one thing straight. This system is explicitly designed not to be a charity. The whole idea is that it's a mechanical elevator. It's infrastructure that gives you a lift, not a handout. And this really breaks down the difference perfectly. On one side, you've got traditional charity, right? It relies on the goodwill of donors to give money away. But on the other side, you have this social elevator, which is a totally self-funding machine. It doesn't give you cash, it gives you the actual tools and the capital to get going, all powered by its own internal system. So here's the crucial point. There are no people in the middle making decisions. No committees, no humanitarian helpers. The whole thing is automated. It's driven by algorithms and the pure logic of its own system. You can think of it as a machine that's built for one thing, opportunity, and it operates with complete neutrality. Which, of course, brings us to the big question. If it's not funded by donations, where in the world does the money come from? Well, this is where the whole concept gets really, really clever. The engine for this elevator is something called virgin capital, and it's value that is literally born from digital assets that people have abandoned. To get how this works, you first need to know about the USUs, or the Universal Social Unit of Share. The easiest way to think of it is like a digital property record, like a deed. It has an owner, it has a monetary value, and it has a history, which the system calls its time stock. Basically, that's just how long it's existed. So, what happens when the owner just up and leaves? Well, when a user cashes out their initial $10, their US record doesn't just vanish. It loses its owner, and it loses its monetary value. But, and this is key, it keeps its history, its time stock. So it basically becomes this ghost asset. It's ownerless, but it's still floating around in the system's prize toss. And if this little ghost asset happens to get lucky and win, a brand new form of value is created out of thin air. And that new value has a very specific, kind of wild name, Capital Virgin Dipicado, or CVP, which translates to Virgin Capital of Sin. Now, the reason it's called virgin is because it's completely pure value. It's generated by the system itself, with zero human speculation or intervention. It's basically the system's own pure surplus. Okay, so now this system has created this pure, ownerless capital. So what happens to it? Well, it has a very, very strict purpose. This isn't just random profit floating around in the digital ether. Nope. It's the fuel for the elevator. Every single bit of this virgin capital is automatically grabbed by the system's optimizer and is funneled into one place, the Social Elevator Fund. And this fund has one single dedicated mission: to finance the entry of new, disadvantaged people into the ecosystem. And how that fund gets used is incredibly disciplined. It is a strict 50-50 split, right down the middle. And that's not random. It's based on a core belief that to give someone a real start, you need two things in equal measure: the actual tools to participate and the knowledge and motivation to use those tools. So, let's break down those two halves. 50% goes to what they call social hardware. This is the practical stuff. It covers the operational costs and the tangible identity kits for new users. The other 50%? That's for human software. We're talking education, motivation, and the support someone needs to build a real desire to jump in and succeed. So now we get to the human side of all this. We've seen how the money is made and how it's divided up. But how does a person actually get on the elevator? Well, that process is called terraplaning. Terraplaning literally means to level the ground. And that's just the perfect metaphor, isn't it? The system isn't trying to give you a boost from a lower position. It's designed to give you the tools you need to start on the exact same level playing field as everybody else. It provides the means to enter on completely equal footing. So what does that look like in the real world? A new user gets an identity kit, paid for by that social hardware fund. And this kit has all the essentials: a Gmail account, a postal address, and crucially, the initial $10 load that you need to activate your spot in the system. So once the new user fills out their registration, a completely neutral algorithm called the registrar gets to work. Its only job is to find the best free record, one of those abandoned ghost UUS units, and assign it to this new person. And honestly, this might be the most powerful part of the entire idea. New users do not start from scratch.
they are given an old, abandoned asset. That means they inherit a digital property that already has history, potential, and what the source material calls accumulated luck. They're getting the original asset's long-standing potential to win. They are literally bringing something back to life that was just left behind. So when you put all of these mechanical pieces together, the ownerless money, the automated fund, the algorithmic assignment, what you end up with is something profoundly human. The whole process is actually described as a transplant of hope.
And this quote from the material, it just says it all perfectly. The system is engineered to perform a kind of social alchemy. It's about transforming the abandonment of others into the dignity and life start of another. It's just a beautiful, cyclical idea. And so the cycle is complete. You have an empty, abandoned digital record that, through a stroke of luck, generates pure value. That value is then used to give someone new not just a starting fund, but the very asset that created it, which is now filled with history and potential. The void literally becomes the foundation for a new beginning. And this leaves us with a really big, provocative thought. The social elevator is a fascinating thought experiment, a model for a self-sustaining system of opportunity. And it makes you wonder, beyond this one specific model, can we actually engineer economic systems that are designed to find value in the things we discard and turn all of that waste into worth?